Welcome back to Defense Like a Jedi. Hey, I got like 3 comments on the intro. I realize it's totally dorky, but kind of gives me a brand. Not sure if I should keep it or not. For me personally, I'd rather videos just jump into it. Something quick like Genghis isn't bad. Kind of tunes you into what you're expecting every day when you watch. I don't think his videos are great. Sometimes they're helpful, but you can kind of tell he's forcing videos, whereas, I'll take 2 weeks off if I don't think it's going to be a good video. Well, guess what? I'm out for another walk, so here we go. You're going to have to listen to me breathe like you might think I'm doing something else, but I just trust me. It's dark. I'm walking in the middle of nowhere, and it's just you and I. Okay, so what I wanted to go in today was, well, before we jump into Evony, I haven't gave a shout out to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ lately. In an ideal world, I would give up like a quick stat or statistic or evidence of creation versus it's impossible. We're here without a creator. If you look at like a game like pick your favorite video game, Red Dead or whatever, how much programming is into that Red Dead game, nobody would look at that code and say that game could have created itself over billions and billions of years of nothing. And when you look at the human being, the human body, the DNA strand, the amount of information, it's a very clear code. And the amount of evidence that's in there, the mathematics is way more likely that a video game would create itself and just randomly line up the ones and zeros that are required in the code to make a video game versus all the information that's in a strand of DNA. So they'll just keep giving up with evidence to try to explain it away, like they can never explain how the eyeball evolved. And Christian scientists were touting, look at these 6 elements that are in the eye. There's no way an eye could have started without all 6 of these elements. It would have been a waste. So no evolution would allow that waste for millions of years until the eyeball actually happened to start function. And then right away the scientists come out with some crazy theory of how things that had light sensors out-survived the ones that didn't. Those sockets eventually turn into eyeballs. It's just ridiculous how they come up with this stuff. So I've already talked too much on that subject. If you want some videos to look at in that direction, that'll steer you into the evidence. It's quite alarming, and it's good to have yourself armed when people in a setting want to laugh at you for believing in a creator we can't see. So, all right, that was more than I already wanted to cover on that topic. And then we haven't talked about crypto at all lately either. It's just consolidating, and that's what it does after the halving. We talked about this. It's although it is supposed to pop this month historically. If you remember, crypto's on a 4-year cycle because it all follows Bitcoin, and the halving was, I want to say 6 months ago. So usually after that 6 months after the halving, the price drops and it consolidates until the exchanges run out of coins to sell. And it does so because the halving reduces the supply that's available to the miners, and that's why the liquidity eventually dries up. This time we have BlackRock buying tons of Bitcoin. I mean, this is the first time that Bitcoin has been deemed a good asset by the United States government. And it's being traded on Wall Street. None of that stuff has happened before. So if you're into crypto or want to get into crypto, not financial advice, it's not a bad time. It'd be a better time if you did it, a year ago. But I think it's a safe hedge. If you look at all the investment strategies, if you would have put 1% into Bitcoin, it would have outperformed your other 99% of your portfolio. So what is 1% hedge against a currency that's a dollar, an American dollar that doubles every 4 years? Meaning if you needed $1 million to retire, in 4 years you're going to need $2 million. So why not hedge a little bit into something that the government can't inflate, can't control, can't shut down, and now they've got their blessing. All right, that's not why you're here. Way too long of a rant. What I'm doing today is I keep getting people asking me about my buffs, and I keep saying, oh, go look at my original videos. It goes over everything on how I got my buffs. And then I'm like, well, I'm getting into this channel. I really enjoy you guys giving a crap about what I have to say. As egotistical as that is, I think it's kind of neat. Maybe someday I'll get an Aptoid code and be able to make something off of these videos. But in the meantime, we're just having fun. So, wanting to do a video about my bus, do I sit down for 6 hours and do a spreadsheet and add in everything about where could my bus come from? And right now, I don't even know what range attack debuff I have because I'm maxing out. If I have too much, which would be shocking because within a month I wasn't able to debuff a range attack, so I switched my sub generals around and really beefed it up, and now I'm kind of waiting for somebody to hit me with 4,000, 4,500 range, which probably won't end up well for me. But until I get to that, I really don't even know what my buffs are because there's so many places that they are randomly seeking. So I thought about just pulling up a report, looking at a stat, trying to show you everywhere I think my buffs are coming from. I'm going to do it on the fly, and then you guys are going to tell me, well, you're an idiot because you didn't look at Blazons or something like that. So Blazins is kind of a tough one to add up because the gear sets will throw in random debuffs as well. So, I mean, there's so many places that your buffs come from. I mean, everybody's doing their wall general now in flat stats, which that ain't me. I copied it, whoever came up with it too. So hopefully you know that much. Really don't want to spend any time on my wall general unless you guys throw it in the comments and you really need to see that. There's plenty of videos where I scroll through it. But, you know, I'm kind of a stat monger. I'm adding stats wherever I can, whenever I can. And I'm not a free-to-play player. I know you guys saw my VIP and you thought I was like spending $1,000 a month, but that's just because I was buying VIP in the auction until I got my final subsidy. So now that I'm not buying those anymore, I'll tell you guys that and you can go fight over them. Good luck. So let's just take a look at a recent report, and I wonder if I got to go back to Battlefield. A lot of these are just me screwing around, you know. Oh, this guy's 33 billion power. Is it a rally? It's a rally. We've probably reviewed this report already. So let's take a look at his buffs. So he's swinging 3,200 range. So that, without looking, the math would be 1,550 for me to, or 1,600 for me to debuff. I'm debuffing him fully. Hopefully you guys know what I'm looking at when I scroll through this. Other videos I have at it. I don't know how deep to go into stuff because not everybody knows everything, but who's going to watch a video where I explain every single detail if you know 99% of those details? So, again, going off the cuff, let's just stick on these range here. So, people are, should I say impressed? Does that sound egotistical? Impressed that, you know, my siege attack in city is 2,300 and my range is 2,000. But then you start, let's go look at up on the top where you get your ground defense and HP. You're looking at 1,900 and 1,800 for defense and HP. Those are all pretty good stats to start a defense with. Let's go through and see where some of the crazy places that I'm getting my stats. So if we look at Blazins, since you guys brought that up, when I do Blazins, you want your set bonus down at the bottom. So make sure they're all, you know, they're correct. Mine are all defending. I haven't switched Blazins for attacking, and I think I'm going to start doing that because I've just been focusing on defense. I try to take them up to 10, and then when I get to 10, I look what the new stat is. And this one is range troop training capacity. Trash. I'm not going to work on this one anymore. I'll unfavorite it, and I'll swedge it into the next Blazin. It'll take the next Blazin up to like level 9.5. So you're not totally wasting your Blazins, but there's a little bit of depreciation there. If I get a good stat, like you'll see my second stat here is range troop attack, I'll go ahead and take this one up, and then I get reinforcing. I don't want reinforcing. I mean, it's better than nothing, but I'll just leave this one cook, leave it sit here for a while, come back to it when I'm really advanced, you know. So this one here, I got range troop defense. That's sexy. Took it up to the next level. Troop load. That's ridiculous, right? I mean, this is just the type of gambling that you do with these things. So as you can see here, range of troop on monsters. That's very useful. Not said no one ever. Of course, they're trying to get you to hit those. Oh, now I can't think of the monster's name, where they're the troop type specific. You don't need to put that in the comments because that's pretty lame that I can't remember what those are called. So that's kind of what I get. I like the troop set bonuses. So if you just look at the troop set bonuses, you know, when defending the enemy ground troop attack, enemy mounted troop defense, you know, so you're getting decent debuffs there just from the set bonuses. So make sure all your sets match. Make sure all those stats are green. And then the Blazins are just icing on the cake on top of that, as far as I'm concerned. So you can go through them. Yeah, I think we've covered enough of this. I mean, like I said, I'd have to go through and add up all these stats. I mean, defending siege attack, 12%. That's a lot for one core. And plus I'm getting another 8 and 10% below that. So, I mean, that's 30% right there attack. That's just one Blazin. So make sure you're spending time on your Blazins. They aren't fun. When you're smashing them together, combining them, let's, yeah, see, I'm not going to be able to give you any example here. This would be my attacking one. But when you're combining them, I'm not going to have any because I just went through them. There's 2 there. You can go through your filters. What I like to do is just kind of reset, and then I go into conditions, and I'll be like on monsters, in rally, reinforcing. So what that does is it only shows you the trash Blazins that I'm never going to use. And then I'll just auto select and I'll just smash those in, combine those in, and it saves a lot of time, but it's worth double checking and triple checking. The other thing I'll do is when I don't have those filters, I'll put the filters on for attacking, defending, whatever I'm after, and then I'll lock in, like if this one was both defending, siege machine defense, I would go ahead and lock that in, and I would never be able to combine it into anything, just because eventually I'm going to want to go through Blazins and keep advancing them. And yeah, too much time on Blazins. It's a longer video than I thought it was going to be. So that's just one area of stats. Obviously your subsidies are pretty critical. We've looked at subsidies enough lately where I mean my sub generals anyways. So where I'm really torn on Nero. I didn't mean to put him in. I just wanted to look at him. I mean, Nero is going to give me 50% HP debuff along with a bunch of other stuff. Actually, there's a good video I found yesterday on subsidy generals, the free ones in the Tavern, and they actually went through and tallied up all the stats, which I do myself, and then I just write it on paper. He actually made it look pretty good. I'll try to find that and maybe post a link to that in case you need another person to watch and follow to get information from. But if I took this guy all the way to 10 stars, 5 red stars, it would end up giving you some troop attack debuff, but a lot of HP and a decent amount of defense. So that's just another tit for tat. I would appreciate comments or encouragement how he's awesome and I should spend some time on him, because I already have enough copies to take him up. And Baldwin, almost done with him. But as you know, these gear look different because I've enhanced them, but it's your basic Achaemenid gear. Make sure you got the right ones, and the ring, use the one with ranged troop attack until you get to a high enough level. Then you can go ahead and use the other one that'll give you some ground and whatnot. I don't have it here. Where is it here? I have a couple. There we go. And then you get your ground and mounted HP, so that'll help you bust their wall once your range attack debuff is high enough. Where else? Obviously, Military Academy and the Academy. I don't really think I need to go in there. I mean, who doesn't just go and research all that military stuff and defending stuff immediately, right? So we know some of it's coming from there. If you really want, in a different video, I can dig in there and show you what mine are compared to yours. Let's go to defending. What is this here? In-city troop defense for just to, I mean, I don't know why you guys want to look at my stats and compare them to yours, but just wanted to click on a couple and you can screenshot and compare. So nothing too crazy. You know, I'm not really crazy about how this video is going, but maybe you guys are into this. We'll see. I feel like I'm just blabbering like always, just rolling on the fly. So your 2 academies, other places that I'm getting buffs are the duty generals. I've been preaching to you all, don't worry about your attack generals. If you're like me and you want to defend, attack general should be entertainment and your business should be these guys here. So go through the Tavern. I didn't use a bot to get most of these. Just rifle through. It's actually fun, believe it or not. I mean, you can do it while you're driving. Be smart, right? Just tap, 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 and then when you're stopped at an intersection, look at your phone and see if there's a general you want, because it'll stop spinning for you if there's a good general. You know, there's pretty easy to do stuff like that. And again, it's actually kind of fun to rifle through there. So someday, I still say I'm going to take Menshikov and replace him with my premium cake Ashoka, because I can't get a second copy of. But I've also showed you how to get a copy of Clovis. And you can see the stats that he brings that I wasn't getting before. I'm lucky enough to get 3 copies. I got 2 copies at once. So that was nice. Same thing with Hectate. She was in that same pack for, I think it was Trial of Nights. And the next one I'm going to try to get is in the current the Journey to Glory. So I think I actually got a Clovis from there as well. So you got to check the Trial of Nights and this Journey to Glory pack. Here we got the Knight's Thunder Chest, whatever. This has, how do you say that? Gunaviri. So I really want 1 copy because I believe it's the warehouse. It's a duty officer for something that there is not a Tavern duty officer. So it'd be all stats that you're not getting. I would also take a copy of Narcisse, and CNUT would be okay. I thought there was one other one that I wanted. Maybe not. I thought there were 3 that I would take. I guess CNUT wouldn't be terrible. But obviously, I'm trying to land this one. Use a triple down package. You have a over 33% chance of getting a copy. So that's that. Do we need to take a look at her so we can remember what the heck she does? Or are you guys going to do that on your own? All right, I found her. Doing a little voiceover here. Actually, took the time to do my homework the correct way, but here she is. It looks like she does in-city range troop and defense by 35%, and then it also reduces the enemy range troops and siege machine defense and HP by 15%. So that, in my math, is 100% buff that you weren't getting before. If you could get lucky and get another copy, or Northern Lights were tonight, by the way. Here would be the extra buffs that you're going to get from her. Odds of getting more than 1 extra copy are pretty slim, though. So those are some of the areas where I might be getting stats that you guys aren't thinking of. So those would be ways to buff up to get to where I am. My wall general is still Richard the Lionheart. Nobody used them before I did. I'm going to stick by that. Nobody gave me credit, which is kind of annoying, but maybe they don't know where it came. It just kind of starts spreading like wildfire. But once I did all the math and I showed the upgrades, how many buffs you're actually getting from him in addition to the hospital capacity, everybody started using them, so now it's not that exciting. So I think I'm gonna leave it here. I should probably dig in deeper. There's also a website that you can enter in all your gear, your subsidy generals and your generals, and it'll tell you exactly what your buffs are without getting a battle report. But it's cumbersome, it's a pain, it doesn't cover everything, but it covers a lot. I think that's also on Evony Wiki, but I'm not quite sure. I'll have to look into that one as well. So I think I'm gonna cut it off here. It's been a long enough video if you're still even here listening to me babble. By all means, let me know some topics that you want to cover. If you see something that you want more detail on, just put it in there, because a lot of times I'm just going off your comments to see what you guys want next. So let's go from there, and we'll see you on the next one.